That's good shit. That's good clean living right there.
There it is. There it is. All right, so we got more Vince Gate or more WWE Gate.
What happened now?
I was just saying we ain't talked since Friday.
Oh, I mean, look, motherfucking Old Man River done turned Stanford into Yellowstone. Like, if Vince is not playing the part of motherfucking John Dutton right now, I don't know who is. Shane is Casey because he's on again, off again, exiled.
Nope. There's news on that front, bruh.
About what?
Shane is apparently an IC getting paid about $885K a year.
Yeah, he's still on payroll. He's just in exile behind that Royal Rumble shit.
Regardless, he still went up on Stephanie because she ain't got no job, man.
She fucking resigned. That's her choice. It's not like nobody sent Stephanie home. Like, nobody fired her. She just said, I ain't here for that shit. Whatever it is you got going on right now, Pops, I'm not here for it. I'm finna go home and be a mother to my children.
Bruh.
And for that,
send me home.
Motherfucking applause for that shit.
Send me home for $885K. That's all I'm saying.
Facts.
Meanwhile,
and I'm like, which makes sending him home even more ridiculous because all you did was send him home for emulating his father.
Meanwhile,
and I said that shit when it happened. Like, you just sent Shane home for pulling some Vince shit. Lo and behold, Vince pulling Vince shit a year later.
The heist of the century is whoever leaked that damn story to all the wrestling sites that got the stock price drove the fuck up.
Which story? The Saudi story?
Yes.
I mean, I am under the impression, because we are sitting here playing chess, and I have been right the majority of the time that we've been talking about this. That story was purposely leaked to gauge the response. Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. A couple text messages get sent out because you know these motherfuckers ain't worried about being right. They worried about being first.
SRS, we talking to you.
With your bum ass. So that shit gets leaked out. A couple people start talking. All of a sudden, you know, bad news. Good news travels fast. Bad news travels faster. So you start gauging the public response. Are people upset? Are people offended? Do they feel like they don't want to support WWE anymore? You basically you put that out there. You play some damage control. You see kind of what the landscape looks like. Because if I had to guess, either of the Saudi potential buyers, whether it be the Saudi Arabian government or the investment fund, probably are the front runners on cash value.
Okay.
And they're front runners on what Vince's terms are reportedly, which is sell, take the company private, Vince's head of creative. So
there'll be a mass defection.
So of course it would be, like, of course, but I even thought about it deeper than what it was. Like, it's complete disrespect to your daughter's run as CEO.
You gotta say her tenure is shit now.
I mean, just hell, Thanksgiving should be really like the Survivor Series at their house.
Absolutely.
Like, it ought to be some motherfucking lethal shots taken at that dinner table.
with real guns.
With real guns, real words, and real consequences.
Here's something I don't know if you heard or read this yet. This comes from Barron's. You ready?
Okay.
All Elite Wrestling, the top rival to WWE, led by Tony Khan and family, is in the pool of potential buyers for WWE.
I heard that bullshit, and because we already spoke about it on 197, we know why that shit ain't gonna happen. But I mean, for real, Vince's pride is entirely too fucking high, and we know this because of the way he got back into the position that he is in as of today. He ain't the type to let shit go. And the last chapter of Vince McMahon's story does not end with selling to his competition.
Like I said in 197, they will not WCW WWE.
Facts. And if you ended up in a situation where the Khans were part of a group to buy WWE, do you realize because of AEW's involvement, Vince would almost make them double up the highest bidder? So you would have to take whatever the Saudi investment fund group would pay and damn near double it just to make him think about it. You got to jump higher than high simply because you are competition. And we know Kanos ain't finna buy that shit and have no control over creative. Even if he is young enough to wait Vince out dying.
Fall back a second. Vince also doesn't need the money. With or without being on the board of directors, with or without Class B stock, he does not need the money.
Facts. The sale of WWE has more to do with him taking the company back private.
He could legit sell to the lowest bidder and still come out on top.
He can sit at home and just keep collecting the dividends off his Class B stock and say, fuck y'all. He could really just say, it's been fun. I'm going to continue. I'm going to sign this one last television rights deal. And I'm just going to collect whatever and be done with it. And I'm going to hold y'all hostage because I can.
Sami Zayn of Syrian descent has no interest in working for Saudi.
Absolutely not. That'll be grand opening, grand closing on Sami Zayn.
MVP, a denounced Muslim turned atheist, is a criminal in Muslim territory.
Same. Every member of the alphabet gang, LBGTQ plus.
Boy.
Any of y'all?
Yeah, that was gonna say that's next.
So like that's another what, half the roster? Like gauging it and not trying to be funny at all. Like really,
I'll probably say more half of NXT if we're going to be open about it. On the Raw,
35% of the entire roster from NXT all the way up.
I would probably say that's probably a generous number, and we can stop with that. That's fine.
Bet. So all of them are going to be ostracized one way or the other.
So, but let's put a round number on it. We'll call it 200. So out of 200 people, 70. It's a nice chunk of change. 70.
Shit, I'd go way higher.
Plus
out of 200, I'm damn near willing to go 80, 90.
So you want to say 45, 50, 45%?
Yeah, easy.
All right, so we'll say 92, including Sami Zayn and MVP.
Okay. Then the women who aren't are still gonna have a shit time, because a lot of things about television are probably gonna have to change.
Boy.
Now obviously Vince would be head of creative, and he would be running things on this particular side of the pond. Or this in this time zone, he'd be running shit. So how does that affect weekly TV? If the Saudis own the company, I mean, they do have a say.
I mean, it's their company. Well, if they get it, it will be their company.
It's like it's both of ours, but we'll keep it at my house. That's exactly what Vince is trying to do. He's trying to sell this to a motherfucker that says, it's like it's both of ours, but we'll just keep it at my house.
Let's be clear, we're playing ifs and fifths, but the one constant that's going to remain, the one thing that will remain regardless of who buys, is health permitting, and I mean by breathing on this side of the world, Vince McMahon will have control of his company again.
And that is, okay, at the end of the day, all things considered, looking at the situation as it is right now, that is the most gangsta, petulant shit I have ever seen in my lifetime, American politics included.
He learned from some of the best and some of the worst.
Like, do you realize how petulant that is? Like, his road from basically retirement back to a power position in less than 12 months.
Give me my ball back as a 77-year-old man.
Or I will kill it with fire. And then the gangster shit to actually pull it off. Pulling it off is the gangster shit. The way by which you couldn't just walk off, you couldn't bow out gracefully, which, I mean, this wasn't a graceful situation to bow out, but this was your opportunity. This is every bit as good. Like, you know what? This happens in real life, But remember when Vince tried to blow himself up in the limo as a storyline thing to end the Mr. McMahon character?
The sad thing is
this is a better ending.
How that ended. But the crazy, right. but you're absolutely correct. This is life imitating art.
Right. This would have been a much better ending for what you think the Mr. McMahon character is. Like, he's living it. So how people would always try to sell you that bill of goods that the Vince McMahon on television, the Mr. McMahon character, is so much different from the actual Vince McMahon every day. It's like, no, we've already been taught. We've been taught by him, by watching him. So for those of you who have never seen Beyond the Mat and things like that where he speaks candidly, whatever you're putting on television is just you with the volume up to 10.
Exactly.
So a sex scandal is the perfect way to get Mr. McMahon to ride off into the sunset. He just wasn't going.
And he still owes the company 19 M's.
Well, shit, he gonna have that. Is walk around money here in a minute.
That's gonna be in his Louis.
You feel me? How long before Johnny Ace is employed again? Like after the sale, how long before Johnny Ace comes back?
You think that's gonna happen?
Can you give me a reason to think it won't? Again, once the sale is made and the company goes back private, there's not a shareholder that can say anything about who works where, and there are no regulations on who can work where. You can hire and fire whoever the fuck you want.
Here's the tacky shit. If not a lie told, if by chance one of the people accusing Mr. Laurinaitis is still employed, can you imagine how fast that future endeavor comes for that person upon the rehiring of John Laurinaitis?
Oh, if you are employed and you told, you might as well start getting your shit together. As soon as you heard that Vince was power playing his way back into power, you should have been on Indeed.
And not just that, there's going to be a full unconditional release, similar to the shit we were talking about last week with the ICs.
Yeah, good luck with the no compete on that shit.
Thank you. You are free to move about the country. Go show up wherever. Go nuts.
Do whatever you want to do, cuz this shit over with for you. It's everything we know to be true about corporate America. We're just getting to see it. Like, they opened the curtains for this one, because in reality, professional wrestling is still ostracized to a certain point. Vince McMahon being the literal Jerry Jones, the Steinbrenner of this shit, he's the most fascinating person. And now, because everything's being told, this shit was strategically rolled out. How I said this was a professional corporate hit, I fully believe it, and I still do. I also believe the person who started to roll the carpet out on that shit still works there.
This is episodic podcasting going back for when this shit first broke for us. Like, there's not an episode where we don't touch on something related to this story going back to May.
Because it kept fucking growing. The list kept getting longer, like a fungus. You know what I'm saying?
One thing we didn't touch on last week was the fact that WWE has hired J.P. Morgan Chase and to assist with the sale of the company, basically to broker the sale of the company. So even if they have a potential buyer in place, we are months away from seeing any backlash or any fallout from it happening.
And then, of course, because you're dealing with all these yahoos and what's supposed to be pro wrestling media, they'll say something completely outlandish and then wait till it's announced that it's not true and then walk it back.
Walking it back is a record high stock price.
That part. Or obviously, which I'm like, okay, why can't you just wait and report the news? Why do you have to act as though you are plugged in on some shit that's above your pay grade? Like, I know damn well as many connections and many different people as we know, ain't nobody calling or texting me to tell me when the sale is final. So I'm not finna say I know who it was sold to. Ever. You won't see that tweet come out across none of my socials. won't come out across the show's socials. However, when the sale is made official and the news from a reputable source is released, we'll share that, and then we'll have a conversation about what that might mean, hence might. Why is it so difficult to just report the news instead of trying to forecast the weather?
Here's a news piece. Axios.com has reported, quote, sources told Axios that Stephanie McMahon and her husband, Paul Triple H Levesque, the company's chief content officer and a retired professional wrestler, had opposed the sale.
Of course they did, because, I mean, it's a family business. To me, this seems like the dumbest shit ever. Like, again, petulant gangster shit.
Is he cutting the kids out the will?
He ain't gonna cut them out the will. They'll have cash. He's just... It's the business. And I don't... Okay. So... We're looking at this situation, and I almost feel like Vince looks at this and says, I can sell it and still get it back. Like, okay, you remember how he bought the company?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the story, and this is the one part of the Vice documentary that's helpful for those who are listening and they want to catch up. The story's told okay there, but it's not full, but you get the gist. So he's buying it from the partners who owned it with his father. And basically, he mortgaged his life on his shit, basically.
Every penny he had.
Every penny he had, where he was making payments, and then at the end, there's like a super large balloon payment. If said party, being him, was not able to make the balloon payments, ownership would revert back to the original owners.
Vincent J. McMahon.
And the group of people that, you know, were also a part of the ownership group.
Right.
I almost feel like he thinks he can pull that same shit off in 2023. Now, I have nothing that tells me that this is even remotely a part of the terms. I just feel this way. Because to me, you're 77. You cut the ankle and show the tree rings, he's probably 97. And you're going to sell your greatest creation, something that would essentially is going to feed generations. This is a generational wealth thing. And that's just going to be it. Like, you're going to run it, but you're essentially an employee, which tells me, even with whatever verbiage you try to put in a contract, at the end of the day, if you don't own it, you don't own it.
Factuals.
How do you feel like you can... Okay, what's to stop whoever the buyer? Let's say the Broken Pencil Booking Company decided to buy WWE. At any point during this situation, what's to stop us from saying, you know what? It's been fun, Vince, but we done. We just gonna... We don't fire you. We just gonna shut down operations.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
You know,
we out of here.
Got our money's. We got our money's worth. We just gonna live with the library. We don't want no new content.
And everybody's
like
free and clear to move about the country.
Right. Your shit's terminated immediately. You're free to do. You're free to go. Or just says, you know what? We own it. We don't need you. All new staff, top to bottom. We gonna move the American headquarters to fucking Los Angeles or wherever the fuck they decide to pick. But you can tear down this shit in Connecticut. We don't need this no more. You can disconnect all the phones. You can turn off the internet and forward the satellite to a new address.
Now here's another piece to this too. People think that Vince has one foot in, and that's cool. I mean, it's safe to say that he has more years behind him than he has ahead of him.
Right. How long would you have to wait him out for this all to be over?
So let me provide some context to that. Don't shortchange that man. Remember, his father died at 69 from pancreatic cancer. His mother just passed away at 101.
Facts. So you potentially got you got at least, you have the potential for another 20 plus years.
Easy.
Easy.
And he's a genetic jackhammer. So you think that all the stuff that he put into his body that he ain't found stuff to counteract the side effects, he still has hair.
You have a certain amount, a certain type of money to get a certain type of medical care that the average Joe does not have access to.
I would say damn near, if not better than presidential.
Certainly on the same level. So yes, there's that part. However, there are some stories, they're kind of like, you know, backroom stories that you got to know somebody to be told about it. But remember how we discussed there are like potential signs of PTE, different potential mental, you don't know how that could or couldn't play out. If it's true, because we don't know it to be true, so we're not going to make ourselves liable. But
it's all speculatory based off of behaviors. Like, we've seen these things before.
Right. There's the behavior you see on camera.
Same. Yeah.
And then the behavior you hear about that almost nobody sees unless you work there. Or you ride on a jet, Johnny Ace.
Who I damn near sound like this week.
But you know the other layer to this that was like really, it was weird, but it was also like, damn, this is TV level.
What's that?
If he was selling to the Saudi government or the investment fund, whichever one, what does his wife do? His estranged wife. But what does his wife do? What's his wife's occupation?
Oh, I don't know what she does now.
What was it up until what a couple months ago?
What she
Linda a fucking U.S. senator?
She's on she was on the Small Business Administration. I think that was her most recent position.
She's involved in U.S. politics. Let's say that.
She had a run, but she lost her Senate race. But she was part of 45's cabinet.
Facts. This is what I'm saying. Which means and let's be real, with Senate races and senators and all that, that's usually a lifetime job. Just because she's not senator now doesn't mean she won't be senator again. Politics is like a lifetime occupation.
And
you sold your American company to a group in Saudi Arabia. The Super Patriot.
On the far right side.
The Del Wilkes of corporate America. Signed his life over to Tatsumi Fujinami on an episode of Worldwide.
Oh boy.
The Patriot comes out dressed in all white with a red circle on his tights. You fucking kidding me? Hacksaw Jim Duggan says, fuck it, I'm joining Sergeant Slaughter and General Adnan and Colonel Mustafa.
And apologizes to Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik.
Facts. Fucking facts. The fucking Super Patriot of professional wrestling selling to Saudi Arabia. Like this, you can't write better television. The shit going on in the front office of Stanford is more entertaining than anything on TV. And with all due respect to our tribal chief.
This is your daily acknowledgement.
Factual. Put your ones up.
And might I add,
a whole lot of fucking gang shit. So now what I will say is that none of the other potential buyers are as interesting as what it would be like if you sold to either group in Saudi Arabia.
It ain't even. It's not even. It was fun to talk about that shit last week, but now with
the memes and the videos,
oh boy,
are worth the price of admission. I don't care how wrong we were about this, or if there's a deal agreed to in principle, or whatever.
This is one
complete
episode.
Bullshit.
This is one episode we need a video for, just for the memes alone.
Fam, the meme train has been rolling, choo, sugar.
What rails?
Them hoes gone, shawty. ain't no more red, shawty. Well, fuck you on, shawty. Ain't no more red around it, bitch.
Oh, boy.
You see what I'm saying? Like Disney does not strike the same level of interest. It doesn't. If Disney buys it, cool. You'll still have what you have on Hulu. You'll have some stuff on Disney Plus, and you'll have ESPN Plus. Obviously, we've talked about this so many times.
Well, and now they have more reason than ever to try to pull something in as a plan B behind this whole Dana White story.
Bruh, because that moron. Like, it was already easy not to really like that guy. Just from his attitude about certain things makes him easily unlikable.
Like, I'm really surprised that it, like, at all the time that he spent building that company up, selling it, and the fact that he's always been in tremendous shape, he never hopped into the octagon, and then there's stories that come out about him allegedly fight fixing or having injured fighters fight, and then now the story about him allegedly, well, not allegedly, because there's tape or video of him putting hands on his wife.
Is it live or is it Memorex?
It's definitely Memorex.
So I'm surprised he ain't getting more smoke, because like we said,
it's very subtle. Like, it's too subtle, honestly. The subtle way in which the worldwide media is handling this, considering that UFC is on a Disney platform. Facts.
Oh, I didn't even think about the UFC is connected to the mouse.
Yeah.
And then the Power Slab League, the Power Slab League show went from delayed to rumors and scuttlebutt that it might just be, you might never see it. It might just be shelved.
Well, I've seen something else already. That Ultimate Slap League is now turned into what used to be the Ultimate Fighter. So they're putting people in their house and training them up to be slappers. Now, I don't know if that was already planned or if that's the U-turn.
I'm sure it was part of the rollout model, but his name being attached to it is basically what makes it toxic. Now, if somebody else's idea got greenlit because his got buried, I mean, well, that's life.
That's one thing I haven't seen, though, since the story broke, is his likeness attached to any of this.
I ain't seen no public scrutiny. I ain't seen not one talking head get outside on Dana White. Ray Rice lost a whole NFL career behind a open hand slap.
Hold on. Ray Rice lost a whole NFL career, atoned, married the woman. They both went on a crusade on behalf of the NFL, campaigning against domestic violence together.
As a unit.
He was seen training to get back into the NFL on a treadmill and started running at a initial speed of 22 miles per hour. Try that shit if you want to with Planet Fitness or Lifetime or wherever your 24-hour.
They gonna escort your ass out.
Escort you out? You about to end up on YouTube.
Their equipment is not even designed to go that fast. They finna escort your ass to the parking lot and tell you to never return.
And this man,
you go do that shit at some next gen level analytics sports complex. You don't come do that shit here at LA Fitness or fucking 24-hour Fitness or Planet Fitness. If it has fitness in the name, you don't do that shit here.
And for him to have all of that on his back for what he did, and mind you, we've had, I'm not going to say any names, but we've had killers, drug dealers, gorillas,
Southside gorillas,
and rapists all have full careers in the NFL.
Oh, you can throw a dart you can put a list of crimes on a board and just throw darts, and any crime you hit, damn near you can find an active athlete who's done it. But Ray Rice out of there.
Yep.
Dana White
and Dana White's living.
Dana White essentially got into a power slap fight with his wife in public.
Oh, the irony of that launch.
Like, him and Brett Favre gotta have the best fucking publicists. Like, who do they have pictures of to where you can't talk about either one of them?
And Favre just disappeared.
You think?
That shit came out about him. He just disappeared. He's in the abyss, parlaying on his NFL retirement pension.
Man, I didn't know nothing about that. We have the text messages where you saying, "Can this be tracked back to me?"
It wasn't me. That wasn't me.
I wish he would. I wish he would have done the Shaggy thing. You know, if he had done the Shaggy thing and been like, oh, "Okay, whatever." You just caught dead to rights and just like, dramatic pause. More.
Hey. This.
What kind of flip out and beat his bitch? The hot boy Dana, man, fuck that. That's not okay. Like, fuck what you got going on. Brett Favre did. Dana White did. Who else did?
God did.
You feel me? Now I gotta wear my DJ Khaled 5 tomorrow just because.
Oh man.
But like, you see the levels of shit that can be got away with if you belong to a certain class
group
of people.
A certain group, yeah, it's
certain group. Vince McMahon, Dana White, Brett Favre.
It is legitimately gang shit.
It is petulant gangster shit. It's gonna fuck around. EGS. That might end up being the title of the show. Petulant gangster shit. We'll keep going. Some will come organically, but is Amazon any more interesting of a buyer? Like, you know what their platform is. I don't particularly care for it as far as, you know, the interface, but Amazon's gonna do what they do. Whatever you saw for Thursday Night Football is what you would get from fucking WWE. You'd have to watch Monday Night Raw via Prime.
Everything would essentially be over the top.
Bet.
It would be appointment television. The good thing is you'd be able to start it on the fly because everything would be cloud based.
Then there's that, and then of course you'd still sell the TV rights to these networks because more money. And then
you saw what Jerry did.
But then you'd also probably have you would probably do away with that 1 month lag between episodes. You would probably still be able to watch Monday Night Raw, if not at the same time, within 24 hours of, you know, live airing.
Yeah, I would say same time. I mean, hey, let's face it. There's not one person on this planet that has connection to the internet that doesn't use Amazon Web Services. Not a one.
That's fair.
So,
that's fair.
So the fact that they've cornered the market on everything, analytic wise, would mean that it would translate to an easier transition. It's actually pretty ominous that their user interface on their Prime apps isn't more friendly.
That's the only thing stopping me from being excited. That's the only thing keeping me from being excited about it.
But I would like to think that if there's no attention to it, that they would literally make a phone call, put some immediate attention to it, and make it easy for, I don't know, a 9-year-old or a 90-year-old to tune in to watch professional wrestling.
Meanwhile, you trying to figure out how to make Twitter more popping. You see what I'm saying? You fighting the wrong fight, cuz. So then, okay, that's Amazon. We talked about Disney. We know Saudi is in the lead as far as being interesting. Kanos is interesting just for the irony of it, but as we do know, the number is going to be so high for him to jump, it may not be worth it. Like, it's worth it in the grand scheme of things, yes.
He'll need an interest group. I mean, whether TK or PapaCon, whether TK or PapaCon actually has the capital to do it or not is besides the point. They're not gonna pull the Vince McMahon to buy WWE.
If they're a part of the purchasing group, you might as well just disqualify them off top. He ain't selling, and you're gonna have to offer so much more than your highest competitor that I don't know if it makes fiscal sense. Like, it would be the biggest troll of all time, which is why I know 100% that Kanos is in for it. That's his specialty. That's his lane, especially when it comes to Vince McMahon. I want to be able to say I bought Vince McMahon. Dead ass. Fuck if I ever make the money back. Whatever, But we've already said Vince wants creative control. That ain't some shit Kano's finna give up.
And Tony Khan deals with definites. One thing he doesn't deal with.
We don't deal or put up with accusations, and most definitely not false accusations.
Right on. That's the title of the episode. False accusation. That's it right there. Go hit the bell for yourself. That is cool people shit right there.
Yeah.
In HD. In HD, in Technicolor, and Dolby Digital sound.
Let me tell you how HD this shit is. If you hear your speakers or your headphones pop, thinking that a mic is too hot, it's not. It's literally my vocal cords.
We are struggling. We are struggling through hell and hellfire and brimstone to bring you this exclusive content.
My throat is Kane.
Doke.
Yo, speaking of Kane, sidebar shit. I saw a story. It was some kind of interview with Brock Lesnar. It said that he was pissed back in the day that he wasn't the strongest person in the locker room when he was back there, as long as Kane was around. He said Kane was the strongest person in the fucking locker room, not him.
Was Mark Henry on a fucking vacation? Like, let's keep it G. I understand, and I have heard the same stories about Kane being freakishly strong, which I do not deny. Don't deny it one bit. But Mark Henry is
the
still
world's strongest man is backstage
with the records to prove it. This ain't just no gimmick. I went out and earned this shit, bitch. Did you watch the documentary about it? He mortgaged his career on the idea that he was the strongest man alive. You in a situation where you off TV. Vince gave you the green light. Okay, go compete if you feel so strong about it. But just know, if you don't win, your ass is fired.
You saying Bolt? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because I can't promote you as the world's strongest man if you go compete and you're not the world's strongest man.
You saying Bolt has entered the chat, but your dumb ass want to talk about Deontay from Fourth Period. Boy, shut the fuck up.
You talking about your partner, man, say, if he had to get he'd have been the fastest motherfucker I ever seen. Meanwhile, Michael Johnson graduated with you. You ungrateful bastard. See, you shouldn't even be allowed to be around people with grace.
Oh man.
Because you don't know how to handle it.
You ain't even allowed to be around people named Grace.
Grace Jones. Motherfucking Will and Grace, Frankie and Grace,
Hail Mary full of grace.
Absolutely none of it is worth putting you around.
Oh shit.
What other buyer on the list would is even remotely interesting? Because there have been new ones added since we made the list that we made when we heard this all was going down.
All right, let's see if we can pull a list of buyers. Let's see here.
I do remember Netflix. Netflix is interesting, but I don't think Netflix has the money. I don't even think they can leverage the money.
They can leverage it through investors. I don't think they can leverage it with their own, how do we say, credit?
Yeah, with their own cachet?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what is it worth Netflix to own it if you're owning it as part of a group when you're the one essentially trying to turn yourself into a network?
I'm not even so sure that, well, they can handle the bandwidth. I mean, they can handle bandwidth right now when it comes to new releases for series, first week run.
I'm interested to see how they would handle the live event space.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So one thing that they've done is they've contracted high-end ISPs to provide backhaul for their services. So even though, here's an example, even though I have biblical internet, you wouldn't know it if you hopped on my Netflix. Simply because they push, it's like you take a straw and you put a fire hose in a straw. You're gonna push as much water as you can through that hose as fast as possible without damaging that straw. And that's essentially what Netflix does to make sure they get content to the rural areas that don't have, like, you know, high-speed internet or higher speed or high-speed broadband, whatever you want to call it these days.
Yeah, their issue is a delivery of content. They just need more of it.
Facts. There's
so that makes them interesting from a you know,
they feel that there's
a fantasy booking standpoint.
They feel that they have one person that will watch one piece of content that they have, and that one person is important. That's bullshit, because there's a lot of garbage on fucking Netflix.
Oh my God. And mess around and watch the wrong movie and fuck your own algorithm up. You'll go down a rabbit hole of trash.
Oh, shouts out to Alexander K. Shouts out Dog Wonder. Shouts out to the motherfucking Rapture and JD Williams of The Wire. Back in the day, I'm talking like 10, 15 years ago, Headcrack too. Shouts out to Headcrack. We started. Oh, and Tezzy P. Shouts out to Zama Howard. We would post in like different social media and text threads the hoodest movies we could find on Netflix.
We need to bring this shit back.
I totally agree, because there's some gems on there. In fact, Headcrack is on one.
There are some levels of debauchery that we have participated in that really would, if we were in a different part of America, we would run the world on culture. Like dead ass. If we were all from a different coast and had those type of conversations and they turned into essentially blog posts, it's the difference between what we're doing right now and being Gilly and Wallow.
Everybody that I named, with the exception of Tazamason, are involved in media and or podcasting.
Facts.
And if you put us in the middle of Idaho, we could immediately transform the think piece that is their living space, that has been their state for 190 years, simply because we're stupid.
Right. We're essentially bourgeois ratchet for this particular area. It's like we have the culture to know that that's some bullshit, but we got enough nonsense going on in our chromosomes to feed into the other shit that's over here.
When you're trendsetters and tastemakers at
Facts.
the same damn time.
So you fuck around and put that on the Eastern Seaboard, like you wouldn't be able to walk.
Don't limit it. You can do that anywhere with that group of people.
No. What I'm saying is the cachet that comes with being from the Eastern Seaboard. Not that we have to be there to make it work. That it's the cosign that comes from us being there. Everything we do would be magnified 25 times if being from one of the major media outlet coasts. Man. Because of the type of cachet that is put on people from that area. We've seen motherfuckers that can't hold a candle to certain shit that goes on, whether it be here in Texas, down in Florida, over in California, hell, in Oklahoma. But because they are from, the Eastern Seaboard, there's a little more love shown for that because, it's just the stigma.
Yep.
But yes, we do have that level of culture and influence, but that was just a random thought of mine. Continue.
All right, so I'm seeing Disney, NBC Universal or Comcast.
Suplex that mouse.
Fox.
Fox is at least interesting.
Netflix, but, Amazon, the government, the public interest group.
Well, why the American government ain't trying to buy it?
The irony in this statement, they don't run media in the United States. The media companies run media in the United States.
All I'm saying is, if the Saudi Arabian government can put up some money, why can't the great old USA? I'm just edging shit up. That's all.
Yeah,
don't even worry, but don't mind me.
But so this short list that's all over the internet is dope and all. And mind you, the government isn't even on the Saudi government. It's the Saudi Arabian Public Interest Fund that is. But what's crazy is, where's the long list? Like the last presidential election, there were
it's in Nick Khan's inbox.
The last presidential election, there was 273 candidates, depending on what state you were in, on the ballot.
I mean, if you just want to add to the list, you put us on the list. Yeah, we're on the list of potential buyers for WWE.
I guarantee goddamn to you, we at the bottom.
Don't worry about it. We on the list. Sometimes it's just better to be on the list than worry about what your position is. So officially, the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and Radio Show infused with hip hop is on the list of potential buyers for WWE. We're waiting for our meeting date.
I co-sign that. Now, there's lots of red tape checks and balances that must go on here, but you can write in your ballot. We'll greatly appreciate it.
We got to iron out a few things, get some logistics down, but I think we can come to the table and make an agreement that would be beneficial to all parties.
I mean, worst case scenario, we can walk away with a couple jobs.
Right. Right. If nothing else.
Yeah.
If that's all you have for me.
2 commas. I'm not picky.
Minimum.
And I'll even do a 1-year deal just for shits and giggles.
Nah, I need ironclad with the no compete. I want that old school shit. You're not gonna be able to get out from under this money you done offered me.
Suave say I want that old thing back.
Yeah, I want that old school shit. Like fuck this newfangled shit that these kids out here doing. I want that old school shit with the direct deposit.
Man, switching gears. Cause
fuck your line of credit. I want liquid money.
That's literally the biggest piece of news coming out from our last episode. We're coming up on episode 200.
Just around the river bend.
We've got an event coming up, which we'll have to get some more information on here for next week's show for 198.
I heard super trapping.
Man. In the meantime, well, actually, this is 198 for. So, oh shit, I didn't tell you about.
Yeah. We got a lot. We got a lot to do. We might have to take a week or two off just to get ready for 199 and 200.
Well, we do want to do an award show. We talked about that before.
Facts. I think that should be 199.
I don't see any reason why we need to wait any longer.
Factual. I bet
because it came up a week sooner than I expected it to. Number one,
right. Cause we ain't take no days off, but
I mean, shit. I mean, look at us out here putting up forth our best effort.
So for those potential buyers that are looking at us, you see there is a level of consistency. And
look at you. Now look at us.
A level of no matter what exists over here at BPBC.
And in case you didn't hear us the first time,
we don't deal or put up with accusations, and most definitely not false accusations.
Just keep that in mind.
That might be my new favorite trigger. Cause that shit's gonna be funny forever. No, that's still my favorite. Yeah. You can't beat that. You can't beat that with a stick.
Yeah. Oh shit. Rest in peace
did we pat ourselves on the back for basically getting the mixtape right of all the potential buyers? Like everybody we put on the tape ended up on the list,
bro. And plus a couple. So yeah, I think we need to Barry Horowitz ourselves on that one.
One time for the one time. Rocky's name ain't popped up yet, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. Bruh, I think he has inside track.
Man. Come on, man.
Wait. Everybody stop. You realize we have not shown any love to Nick Khan and the gangster shit he pulled off? He essentially is going to get a commission for the sale of WWE. It was written into his contract when he came into the company.
What was the exact statement? Because that came out a couple of days ago. Something, he stands to make more than something.
He's going to make more from the sale of WWE than AEW does from their television rights deal. Are you fucking kidding me? In one day, in one felt swoop, once pen goes to paper and the sale is finalized, bitch, I can buy a small country.
That gives a whole new meaning to the term con man.
Since day one, he's had an agenda and he has worked it to absolute perfection. He's still in my top 5 suspects.
Man,
Just saying.
I wonder, like, how long has he been in WWE, especially at this level?
Don't give me the line. I'd have to go back and see his actual start date.
You talk about a rise to superstardom.
Oh,
he
no,
joined the company in 2020.
Famo, he did exactly what he came to do.
He was a pandemic hire as a president and a chief revenue officer. He was the bank.
Well, he finna make bank now.
Actually, he wasn't the bank. He was the president and head accountant. He wasn't signing shit without knowing where it was going.
Point. Tony, did you take money? Did you shave points? Absolutely, I did. I shaved all the points. I churned the bottom of the roster and I cut the fat. Now I'm finna have the leanest steak ever cooked.
Boy.
Because I had a goal when I showed up and I stuck to the script. Don't be out here freelancing and shit. That's a teachable moment.
He gonna skin a lamb. He gonna skin a lamb, cook it on the ground because you don't have this.
Are you fucking kidding me? I want to be at the party that Nick Khan throws the day WWE is sold. Because I guarantee you he's not going to work the next day.
Oh,
it'll be from Zoom. He's not going to anybody's office that next day.
There's a story that came out today that Nick Khan actually met with Bob Iger.
Educate the people on who Bob Iger is.
Bob Iger is the returning CEO of Disney.
Cause I got homies over there.
The market cap for WWE. This is one thing I was looking for earlier that I just came across. The market cap for WWE. Take a wild guess what it is.
The market cap?
Yeah, worth.
Oh, I don't even want to try.
6 bands.
Excuse me?
$6 billion.
That's what I thought. And didn't we say on 197? I said it's gonna take somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 15. Okay, it's 10 for everybody else. For Kanos, it's 15 plus. Because you're gonna have to double up. You're gonna have to come close to doubling up the value just to get him to sell. Then you add competition tax. And Saudi is already going to be willing to overpay. If the company's worth 6, they rolled out of bed thinking 10. And just to make sure that it's theirs, 15 for them is not out of the conversation. So now if you're a Kanos group, you got to start at 15, work up.
They may even include a developmental plan for an undetermined tract of beachfront property in Saudi Arabia. And if you're keeping score at home, the entire country is beachfront property.
You gonna start dealing with fucking real estate. Like, you gonna have to start throwing real estate on top of it.
If they can build Dubai up in 40 years.
Bruh. All I'm saying is, yeah, I know everybody wants to have fun with this shit, and some people are like extra super brand loyal, so you want to troll people about what if Tony Khan bought it and he has the money. Chill.
It's fun.
Chill.
It's fun to think about, but even Tony Khan will lose sleep thinking that he actually has a snowball's chance in hell of making it happen. It is legitimately a wet dream.
How do you make it back? If you spent 20 billion, if you spent anywhere north of 15 billion on a company that evaluates at 6, at what point? How do you make that back?
What is the largest grossing wrestling show in the world every year?
WrestleMania.
How can you make money back on a company that's worth more than all 38 of them combined?
You could have bought several expansion teams. You could have actually probably.
You can add 2 teams to the NFL and make that money back in probably 5 years.
Facts.
Wrestling ain't guaranteed. Football forever.
I'm saying it take you $10 billion to buy the Cowboys because they're one of those that grade out at about six bands.
Cowboys is one of the top 3 brands in the world.
Right, that part. So we're gonna have to come up with something else for $1 billion because band is $1,000 to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, we call it a Billy.
A loaf. You just take 6 loaves. Big bread. It's gonna take 6 motherfucking loaves of ciabatta. Big thick bread. Pause.
Not to be confused with Katsuyori.
It's gonna take you It's gonna take you some pita. It's gonna take you a whole lot of pita to get the bread to get these loaves.
Hey yo. we ain't selling pita over here. We ain't giving away no pita either. Pause.
That's fucking hilarious. PITA.
Got it. All right.
That
makes more sense.
Not Senior Parker. We not web slanging like Spider-Man around here. Them days is over.
not the main. Not the main.
Bitch ain't going back outside. I don't know. Yeah, nope.
Oh,
no, man.
Thank you. We was touching on earlier. First off, rest in peace, Gangsta Boo. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate your contributions to the culture. You know what I'm saying? Hell of a blow for hip hop, but you know we appreciate and love what you've done.
Where the dollars at?
We gotta come with a. How many awards are we gonna give out for this year in award show? It's our first ever.
I don't know. Unless you want to just pick a magic number and we limit it to that.
Our magic number is 5.
Nah, we giving out more than 5 awards.
Okay, let's do an album then. 10 of them. We'll do 10 awards.
All right, so let's do the mixtape. What would those be?
All right.
Male superstar of the year. Just male talent of the year, female talent of the year. Match of the year. Pay-per-view of the year.
Tag team.
Yes, tag team.
Breakout star.
Yes.
Rookie.
Would they not be the same thing?
No, because you could have a breakout star for someone who's been in the industry for 20 years.
Well, I'd rather not celebrate a rookie and they fuck around take a knee on me the next year. So let's just do breakout star. Nah, for real, because like once upon a time, breakout star of the year probably would have been Adam Page, or at some point, rookie of the year would have been.
I mean, hell, for a good stretch of 2022, Bryan Danielson was breakout star.
And see, I would argue against that because you can't be a veteran of that long to be a breakout star. That would be more like comeback player of the year type shit.
There you go, or like 6-man or some shit.
Yeah. So like utility player.
All right, so do we want to do breakout? Or do we want to do rookie?
Breakout.
All right, bet. And rookies can fall into breakout category.
Facts.
All right, 1, 2, 3. We got 6 so far.
Of course, we would give out a body bag of the year.
We must.
That's just us.
That's gonna be a lot of work for us in the next week.
That's proprietary.
There were some gems there, boy. Oh, there were some gems.
Luckily, we've already kind of done a lot of the research. It's not going to be as difficult to find the one as it would normally be.
Right.
What else we got? So that's what, 7?
Yep, 7.
All right, so
there were so many oh shit moments. I don't even want to even go on that one.
Oh, we got Are we gonna do a Hall of Fame class
for this year?
Yeah, like are we gonna induct a Hall of Famer?
What's the criteria? Not already in. Yep. You know what? Yes.
No, it's just us. It's ours.
Our BPBC Hall of Fame.
Yes, we'll do what we want to do.
Man.
So we can start. Okay, our class would be. How many people you want to do in one class? You can't do more than a certain number. We'll do that like the NFL.
Nah, man. Our shit gonna be special, bro. We got one Hall of Famer we can induct.
One.
Every year we doing one Hall of Famer.
Fam, do you know it would take us like 20 years just to do the people that we recognize for Black History Month?
Yep. There can only be one.
One.
One's the loneliest number.
Damn. Man, say one. It's one.
I have it's card subject to change. I have a reason why I say one.
No cap, I do like the idea of one because now it makes our Hall of Fame
special.
It makes it special. It makes it very prestigious. It makes it, painstaking because we have to do the research and come to a consensus. And it's like you got to show your work when there's only one. I already know who's going. I know who I'm voting for.
I'm actually typing you a message right now. I want you to tell me
if it's the same person I'm thinking of.
Yep. Let's see here.
All right, shoot.
Let's see here.
Because if it's the same person, I'm finna announce this shit right now. I promise.
Check your text.
Close.
Okay.
Very close. Like, same car close. Hold on. I got you. Hold on.
As I'm waiting for an inbound text here, so that way you know.
There's my response. That's my pick.
Wait for that was my number 2. See, your pick works for some very specific reasons with us. Yes.
So I see what you're doing with that. That's foreshadowing. That if I'm just doing it as, not thinking with my marketing mind, just thinking with my wrestling mind, that's my number 1. But either one of those two I'm happy with. And look, everybody listens like, who the fuck are you talking about? It's inside baseball. Just chill.
Cause see,
you'll know in a week.
Cause now you're gonna make me want to fill up the car and induct induct the car.
Now see that I like that too though, because that makes it prestigious. You can't put more people than can fit in a car, so you got 4 slots max.
If this is the late 70s, early 80s, you could possibly squeeze in 3 in the back seat.
No, we ain't lapping up, and people need leg room.
Nah, people wasn't lapping up. It was just real tight back there.
No, thank you.
There was a lot of beer, so
it ain't enough beer flowing for me to be okay with that.
Have you seen the back seat of a 98? That's all I'm saying.
Not in a lot of years.
Yeah, that was a couch back there.
The Oldsmobile 98. I used to have one of those. I had one once upon a time.
2-door or 4-door?
4.
There it is.
The bitch was burgundy. That's the funny shit.
Hey, my old man had a baby blue one that was had the plush with the buttons in the back. And that was
what color was the interior?
It was blue.
Blue on blue?
It was that crushed blue, yeah.
So they did that. Everybody did that shit. So I had maroon on the inside.
Yep.
That's fucking crazy.
That was a GM thing.
That was some fly shit. I think I'm gonna go with the 1. But we need 2 more. Again,
card subject to change, because if by some strange stroke of lightning I'm able to pull something off, that's all I say. So yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Is a Hall of Fame induction the same as a Lifetime Achievement Award?
Yes.
All right, cool. Yes. So I'll skip that.
Because
we need 2 more.
Yep.
It was harder to get to 10 awards than I thought.
I mean, we can go with the BPBC 8 and keep it moving.
Grade 8 subject to card subject to change. So we got the Super 8 right now.
Yep. We got
And
male,
then-
female superstar of the year, match of the year, pay-per-view of the year, tag team of the year, breakout star of the year, body bag award, BPBC Hall of Fame inductee.
Sounds like a stacked card.
It's
That sounds
written,
like a
and so
really
it shall
stacked
be.
card.
I said so it is.
I said so, and
All right. So now more than ever, I implore you to exercise your rights to use your electronic telecommunications device. Hit us up. Show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com. Those are the email addresses. At Broken Pencil BC on all social media platforms. So that's at Broken Pencil BC on what?
everything.
Everything. If you got some heat for us, hit us up with that shit. We want to know what that is. Where else? Where are we here? Shit, I think that's worth a wrap. Oh,
You think so? Oh, you know what we can do? The Broken Pencil Parlay. So we're gonna predict what the award will be, who we think got next.
excuse me. Add one more to the card.
I kind of feel like that might take away from our drafting process. Plus, we haven't done a draft in a while. It might be time for a draft.
Our draft is. I mean, so much has happened in 5 years, man. We can't.
So much.
Well, man, I really wish we could do it the same way we did, but because of like a new organization popping up on TV, there's so much cool shit that's happened. It's deflated the power of our draft. But I'm totally with you. We haven't done one in quite some time.
We can never deflate the power of our draft because we evolve with the times. First draft was just about players. First draft you actually had to manage a show. So you had to build a roster based on the show.
Yep.
Second draft, more of the same, and then we
had
we always evolve.
top 5 wrestlers that never touched WWE.
Right, you know what I'm saying? We and that's something we can bring back because there's a new crop. There's always stuff that can be done. We always evolve. We find ways to innovate and go forward. So don't worry about that part.
I mean, shit, how many hip-hop infused pro wrestling podcasts have lasted 200 episodes? Not many. There's only one other one that I've seen. And it's
is it infused with hip hop though?
I'm not. I would like to think so, but they don't rep it.
Well,
maybe we
then
gotta
it can't be. Then it ain't infused.
Maybe we got to talk to them.
I mean, we'll fellowship more in 23.
Maybe we have to talk to them. Yeah, that's right. So you today. Oh, happy J13 to those lovely ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. This is Friday, J13, 20 and 20. I'm sorry, year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
I said year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
20 and 20. Tree. God damn.
I knew if I played my cards right, I would get what I was looking for.
You asshole.
Well, you know.
That's what happens.
One thing I do know is we don't deal with accusations.
That's what happens when you do shows without intros, man. Suave, take him to the house.
Pencil pushers. Heads up. Pencils down.
We don't deal or put up with accusations, and most definitely not false accusations.